What's going on, guys? Going to get into the market today. So obviously been off YouTube for a little bit. We had Christmas last week and we have New Year's Day, so market will be closed Thursday. So another low volume, kind of choppy week going on. We saw the market kind of pull back a bit today after last week's rally on low volume. So again, low volume right now. I don't expect the volume to come back in until the new year, until 2026, but we can still plan ahead and kind of play this market. So still trading a little bit in this market, just not as much, and looking for dip buy opportunities, especially on SoFi. So I want to get into the chart, options flow, gamma, and kind of what I'm watching for. All right, and first off, we're going to get into the largest flow that expires within 1 month. The ones that stood out to me: SPY, NVIDIA, PLTR, SPX, and Amazon. So obviously, we did have a pullback day, so these could have paid already. But NVIDIA and PLTR do carry some weight in SPY. So if these pull back heavily, then overall market could pull back. And I honestly do hope we get a bit of some selling pressure to buy SoFi. But if we check out SoFi and reset these, so really not a lot of flow for SoFi right now. It is more bearish, so that kind of goes along with what I am expecting. Another thing I wanted to check was IWM. So it does look like the market is pricing in or expecting a pullback in these smaller cap stocks, these high beta stocks. And so if we look at SoFi on the weekly, I would hope for a retest of previous month low of 23.52. I think that would be awesome. If I could buy it anywhere in this range, 21 to about 24.83, this would be the first scale in, and then a little bit more at 23.52, and then heavily at 21.78. Your risk would be, at least for short-term options and stuff like that, a weekly close below this 18.47. One thing that's notable is obviously we've been on low volume, but this is declining volume. So we could expect SoFi to have some sort of a big move coming up here in the next few weeks. Now, if we check out IWM, it is kind of getting to that decision point. We have our supply up here, obviously, that we've kind of been rejecting. Are we going to come back down to previous month POC? If we do break below this and start selling off, you're going to see SoFi come down, obviously. And given that flow I just showed, maybe we do get some sells, whether it's on low volume or not, or if volume comes in the market next week and it's all selling pressure, it's going to present some opportunities. So I am ready with cash and ready for this dip buy, because I do think SoFi come March is going to be, anticipating that S&P 500 inclusion all over again and above $30. All right, and then jumping over to Twitter, a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So this guy talks about how the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high on the first day of the Santa Claus rally, which we did recently just hit new all-time highs. And he says that December 2021 was the last time we did that, and 2013 was before that. Worth noting that stocks fell the next 6 days, both of those times, but we're still up overall during the 7-day SCR period. So obviously we are seeing red today. I believe last Friday was a little bit red. So we're on track for this to play out. That could present low volume selling for a dip buy opportunity for when volume piles back into the market in the new year for that next leg higher. So that's what I'm looking for. I thought this was a good chart as well, because it does line up with kind of where I'm going, except he does Elliott wave, which I don't do Elliott wave, but we kind of have the same idea of where this could head. So the wave forward target would be around that 24 or 23.56 mark. That's where definitely want to buy. And then this guy also has something similar. So been consolidating at former all-time highs for a long time, and then it's looking just like it's consolidating on the weekly. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the breakout will be. So we do like to see SoFi just consolidating up here. It'll eventually flag, give us a good buy opportunity, and then head into that next leg higher going into 2026. And then I did want to touch on the gamma exposure. So for SPY, 700 is the call wall. So that is not out of the question. You have $1.3 billion sitting there. The spot price is at our current put wall. And then, so over time, I do believe that 700 call wall will be tapped. As for SoFi, it's the same, pretty much still that 30 call wall. And then we are at the put wall at 26. And then the next largest one would be around 25, 24, and 23. So it just kind of tapers off there. As for IWM, put walls at 240, call walls at 260, and we're currently at 250. So right in the middle. But I will say the put flow or put gamma seems to be a bit heavier. So you have 2.5 billion in put gamma versus call gamma. So a pullback in IWM isn't out of the question. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards, which would actually help us get our SoFi dip buy. As far as the squeeze metrics, the dark pools were not buying this dip today. So S&P 500 is the green line, and they were not buying this. Just something that I like to check. So you can kind of see like on this dip right here, they were actually buying that. Just something that I like to check. So on this small little dip, so far they're not buying, but something I like to check. Well, that's pretty much it. Just a quick update. I have just been playing what the market gives, been watching this flow, and really just scalping SPX. So, alerted this today, scalped for a little bit of money, kind of commentated through it, just what I was watching, and was able to make a quick 220 on SPX there. And then there was another play I got in off of flow, just saying I'm in SPX calls. Flow's bullish. Caught 20% on the Robinhood account, and then another 34% on the Thinkorswim account. So yeah, that was pretty good. We've been doing good overall though. Pretty much just going for base hits every day, just around anywhere from 1 to 5% consistently. Is definitely growing the account. So past month we're up 29%, which is good for a low volume month with holidays and stuff. So continuing to do that into 2026 is the plan. And please like and subscribe and have a good one.